What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Live Wholism podcast. I'm going to be your host, Ryan, and I have got some special friends of mine that I've known for a good little while. And by a good little while, I mean years and years and years and years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got some years behind us.
So we got, I'll let them introduce themselves because it's always a fun thing trying to figure out who you can get an HBTN shirt on today.
Yes, sir. We repping.
You better represent.
All right. My name is Fred Howell.
I am Zannetta Howell.
And we are married content creators known as Howell Be Thy Name.
You better say that, boo.
I mean, yeah, that is like the elevator pitch and straight to it.
Straight to it.
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and start this off, y'all, as we always do with the Serenity Prayer. Higher power, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, y'all. By the way, I'm just going to let everybody know, because you don't need to know, because you don't know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is part 2 of us recording this.
Yeah, part two.
I messed up the first time recording, and we're just going to do it again. So we had a great conversation the first time, and we'll just keep that for our own, it'll be in the vault.
Yes.
Like Michael Jackson.
That means this one going to be better.
Yes.
God said, hey, y'all can do better. Go ahead and do part 2.
Yep. So we're gonna always let y'all know. Feel free to write in, give us with any topics, any kind of questions or whatever. Just write us on Live Wholism or on Instagram. I always forget this thing. Or or the Live Wholism podcast on Instagram. We also have an Instagram page named Live Wholism Podcast. Feel free to email us at thelivewholismpodcast@gmail.com. Write a review, not a review. Yeah, you can write a review actually on Apple Podcasts or write some stuff on YouTube. We're everywhere, just wherever, we're trying to make sure it's there for you. So, and if you don't, and all that stuff is also in the description. And since our last conversation, you would not believe what's happened.
What's going on?
We've got nothing. So
I thought something really about to happen.
I was like, oh, shoot.
So we're going to go ahead and get this started and get to the meat of the podcast, which is what we've been doing to stay whole physically and mentally. And then we're going to end it with a topic which our guest will bring.
How's it been for you?
Physically, I have been keeping whole by working out. Okay, but this past week, I only worked out one time. But let me tell y'all, it took a toll on my body because this morning, I woke up and my back locked up. After just cleaning up the apartment. So, but physically, yes, working out and cutting foods out as far as like dairy and red meat, because that backs us up. I don't know about everybody else, but it backs me.
5 o'clock traffic.
Yes, it backs us up.
5 o'clock Atlanta traffic.
Right. And also trying to find, I'm in the process of trying to find me a trainer as well. I really want to have the aspect of like training for something, but I don't know what I'm training for.
Oh, what are you interested in? I'm curious.
Like, I like weightlifting.
Okay.
So, and plus, like, when I see, like, the people in the gym, like, we go to the gym, and I'm like, oh, man, I really want to use that. But then I get scared because I see, like, the big muscle people, and I'm like, I'm going to go over here and just put these 10 pounds on. But I noticed that I'm actually stronger than those weights in the other room. I really want to venture over into the other side.
Like the old lady weights, or they're like the pink?
Yeah, they're like, I mean, I ain't want to toot my own horn, but they're like 20 pounds. And I'm like, bro, I can definitely punch like 60 of this right now. But I'm like, I really want to get over there. But then I'm like, I don't want to be doing it wrong. And then somebody be like, hey. And I'm like, oh, please don't do that.
But we'll be at the gym and like she told me like, would you help me out with the ball? Like, yeah, I'll help you out. But when we go to the gym, like she don't ask. I'm like, she's like, I don't want to interrupt your workout.
You gotta ask those questions.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want to interrupt your workout. I'm like, it's okay. I'll help you out if you need a spot. I'll spot you. Like, you know what I mean? I'll show you how to use it. You know what I mean? But
that is the community of the gym. Everybody's sitting over there like, we all trying to get better out here. So let's figure it out.
Right.
That's wild though. What else would you like when you say train? You mean you said you want to train for something?
Yeah, like I want to train
like an event or
like I feel like this big version of me at my big age of 29. Let's not
whatever.
Okay.
She is not 29. You gonna lie on this podcast?
Because I for doggone sure was.
No, she is not 29. She lying on this podcast.
My big age of 32. I feel like I have this burning desire in me to be this best version of me physically, and I'm trying to find her. So when I go to the gym, I want to build my legs, build my back, build my tummy, and like I just want that version of me so bad that I'm chasing her. And so I'm like, she's in the gym somewhere. She just gotta get out that corner of that room and start punching those weights.
Golly,
yeah, she's strong, yo. Like.
Yeah,
she's strong, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we be playful, like, all right, man, you get a little too,
that
going too far. It's going a little too far now.
Like, what is the squat press? Is it the squat press or like the barbell on your back and I'm just squatting? Yeah. So with that, we tried that one time, and I was like, oh, is this just? I was like, how heavy is the bar? And bro was like, the bar is not that heavy, and I was just like, I don't know, it looked kind of heavy. So I squat with it, and I was like, I can at least put like 50 pounds on this and put this on my back. Like, but I tried recently to let bro let me squat with him on my back, and he just would not let me for some reason.
No, you are not.
But I can though.
You're not about to push out 3 sets of 10 with me on your back.
Like, hey man, let me tell you something. I mean,
so, we are going to do a video of that, okay?
Let me squat with you. No, you are not. I'm not about to get on your back so you can squat me.
You are not going to do that.
Right.
I am. I'm going to slink him on my back.
It's like, what was that when, and I think about the SpongeBob episode for some reason when he was lift weights.
Right.
And it's like, look, man, you're not going to turn me into muscle arms. Whatever thing's called.
Right.
When that old lobster is over there just trying to flex.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because I was telling her the squat machine is the kind, it's not like it's not the bar. It's like the kind like you use and you kind of turn it and it get back on the rack.
So
it's not like
that one that's kind of like it's got a motorized like a little rolling mechanism.
Yeah. So it's not like the free weight, like it's not like the 45-pound bar. You know what I mean? So I told her, I said, you can put some weight on that because it's not the same weight.
We tried the bar at one point in time where I was trying to bench press it, and my upper body is just trash. Okay. So I was sitting there, and bro was like. He was like, your back is coming off the bench. And I was like, I know, because this is just so heavy. Like, but leg wise, like I got that.
See, that's the wild thing about like working out. Like I realized like too, like my legs are a lot stronger than I've got to be able to get them a little bit more balanced. But I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of like my friend is a trainer at the gym I go to. And one of the things that like he always would have people do, like they would usually start off with like almost like a little plastic bar just to kind of get the rhythm, the form together. And then after that started like adding little weights. And next thing you know, people just kind of shaking a little bit trying to get it up. But I mean, like after that though, like it's like, damn, like I'm ready to punch people. And so
but yeah, that's how like you got to get the like taking step by step, like, you know what I mean, when you learn it. So like when you learn it, you already had the form, so you just got to push the weight up. So.
Yeah, some people don't like that, like lift. They don't like being told, like, "Hey, you might end up hurting yourself, so be careful." Now I got this, man, bro. Your shoulder gonna be out the socket by
40. You gonna tell something?
Yeah, I mean, like you want some rotator cuff issues, like that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, for me, I did pretty good at the working out this week. I usually aim for 4 days. I did 3.
4.
I usually aim for 4. Yeah, but it's not like no intense. Oh, okay. So it's like kind of like moderate where I don't want to be swole. You know what I mean? I just give me something where I'm a little cut and I'm satisfied with my, you know what I mean, how I look or whatever. But yeah, I did 3 days. I wanted to go yesterday. I ain't gonna front. I got lazy. And then
you needed a rest day. You didn't get lazy. You just needed a rest day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then as far as like she said, eating, trying to be careful of how we eat, you know what I mean? What we eat, like she said, we cut back on red meat a little bit. I'm probably taking.
We're gonna get a burger on Sunday.
I'm getting a burger tomorrow.
On Sunday.
Where y'all go for y'all burgers?
Well, tomorrow, we're going to Bad Daddy's downtown. Yeah. So yeah, I gotta get a burger.
When I cut something out, I'm like, I'm going all out though. I'm gonna blow my stomach out.
So we haven't had. When was the last time we had beef?
Oh, it's been a minute.
It's been a while, so I was like, "Hey, we going to Bad Days tomorrow. I'm getting a burger.
Burger.
Yes, sir. Texas
been
toast.
over a month.
Tater tots. Yes.
I'm prepared for every consequence that comes with
Oh
this.
my gosh.
Man, I gotta get me a burger. I'm going to Bad Eddie's. I gotta get a burger.
But watch when I get there, I'll change my mind instantly. I'll be like, I know that burger gonna back me up. I've been flowing real good. My bowels been flowing good. And I'm like,
See, that's the rough thing about getting healthy is that you start knowing what it feels like to feel good.
Yeah.
And then you start asking yourself, do I really want to do this?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And there are some times where I go, F you, body. I know what you want me to do, but let me tell you who's still in control of this thing. And then it reminds me later on that night, like, okay, well, you got to go to sleep at some point in time.
Yeah, man. Then like we said before, adjusting our eating habits because we're getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So like now, like you said, cut back on red meat because I figured out, too much red meat can bother me. So I'm like, all right, so we cut back. So I have it every now and then, but not as much as I would.
I'm curious though, like when y'all cut back your eating habits, because I know I'm curious, like outside of just like you're getting, like when you say like you got older, like what's another good reason as to like why that became super important to you, like as far as cutting that food out and stuff.
For me, it would be my family history. My mom has high blood pressure. My dad has diabetes, and both diabetes and high blood pressure have run through both sides of my family. So I got diagnosed with high blood pressure when I first moved to Raleigh. Look, within my first year of me being in Raleigh. Because, my eating habits were trash. I'm talking about they were trash. It was Snoopy's every Tuesday and Saturday because I got to get my 50-cent hot dogs. But it was just, I was on my own. I had to develop that mindset of what I was eating. And plus, I didn't have that much money to be buying healthier food. So it was a lot of that, a lot of eating late, a lot of fast food. But now that I'm older, it's like my body is like, okay, we gotta shift something. Because I know how I feel whenever I eat a lot of fast food. I feel tired. I feel sluggish. My mindset is not there either. So, and also sugar. Oh my gosh.
It's an awful thing.
Sugar addict over here. Look, love ice cream, but it's going to blow my ass out. So I'd rather just not even indulge. Sometimes if I have a better option, I'm going to try to choose a better option. But if that thing is looking right, I'm like, let me count how many days it's been since I had that. Like, how many days? I'm like, do I want to sacrifice my stomach for this?
It's like, look, stomach, like body, like I've been training you for this. Don't worry. It's just one day. Just hold on, man.
Yes.
Right. And then I would say for me, I know when I went to the doctor last time, I said my cholesterol was a little high, a little elevated, you know what I mean? So that's why we decided to cut back on red meat, because they said red meat, fried foods. I love some French fries. Yeah. So you know what I mean, we just had to make some adjustments. But like I said before, like you don't know you need these things until like say you eat something, then your body reacts to it, and it's like, hold on, what's going on? Because in your 20s you could just knock that off, you know what I mean, knock that off with no problem,
keep it moving,
you know what I'm saying, keep it running.
It ain't nothing.
Right, you hit 30 and it's like your body is like
now, I can handle it, but I need you to put a little bit of oil inside the car too.
Right. So it's just those reasons, and of course wanting to stay in shape, going to the gym. So just little things to just help us out.
See, that's the thing. Like I was thinking, like I for so long, like I kept getting told, like after a certain age, this is what's going to happen. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I was just like, I started meeting so many people like who were staying healthy. I'm just like, I got a feeling that that's a lie. Right. And what I thought was just, I started realizing, I was like, all right, because, family would always say, like, your body going to change, so you might as well just get over it. Yeah. And I'd be like, Jesus Christ, y'all. But like, and so, but one of the things that I'm like, all right, you're right. Like, my body does change. However, all I got to do is just adjust my eating habits and working out habits.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to do the things that I like to do. So I had like just this, not this crisis, but like this thought of, do I want to keep eating and living the way I was living and then not do the things I like to do? Or am I going to just change my eating habits and all these different things so I can continue to do the things I like to do? And that's what kind of like made me change and be like, it's fine. I'm going to, and I like to, it feels good to look good too. Like,
yeah. You want, especially like you want, especially when it's hot like this and stuff, you want to be able to, might want to put the guns out a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You don't want to be embarrassed. Like, nah, I got them tucked today. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You want to feel a little comfortable being able to let the guns out a little bit. Even though my guns, you know what I mean, a little guns, but I got a little something. You know what I mean?
You know.
But you got a pistol. Don't do that. Oh, and also for us is we want to look good for each other. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to be scrolling through Instagram and I see him like somebody's picture. I'm like, why he liking her? And I'm like, oh, but wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. She is looking good. I was like, okay, I see that.
She's so silly. Yeah, man.
Yeah, mine has looked like, I had to work. I've had to work 4 games in the past 2 days. And so my job requires me to stand up a lot and everything. So, and I'm filming games, so it like requires me to stay focused and all these different things. And first of all, humidity is stupid.
What?
Why is it so hot?
What?
First of all,
it was not. I came back home Thursday and I was like, it's not hot outside. The sun wasn't out there, but I was like, I feel absolutely disgusting. Right?
You're sweating while the sun is behind the clouds.
Like your shirt.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm just looking over there like it's the most disgusting feeling in the world.
Right.
But and I had to do the same thing yesterday. Only it was, the sun was out there a little bit, but whatever. And but one of the things like about that job is that it's such a physically demanding job at times. Yesterday I was just standing, having to like just move my arms and stuff. So like I started learning and realizing like how I've known this, but like I know how important like just like random movements are throughout the day, because like if my arms stay stuck in one particular position, like all of a sudden like I'm like, oh, I can't move my arm anymore. That is freaking crazy. And then I got home after working these 2 games and in the heat. And there was this thing I was like, all right, I can take a shower. Or I can just go to bed right now because I can't get in there.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, something's gonna have to take a back seat right now.
Yeah.
And I am like, either I take this shot, and it was just stupid. But I did learn one thing, that I don't like taking medicine. However, ibuprofen, the older I'm getting,
oh, savior,
I'm starting to take it more.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
It works.
It works.
My family live and die by ibuprofen, boy. I ain't gonna front.
You got the flu, take some ibuprofen. You got COVID, take some ibuprofen.
My family live and die by ibuprofen.
I saw so like like the last like I know I cannot sleep if like my body is stiff like that. Like it's freaking crazy. So
it's uncomfortable.
Right, it's really uncomfortable. So I thought, all right, am I gonna sit here and be a man and not take this ibuprofen?
Not the man.
Whoa.
Because like I've become such a holistic kind of like, I'm trying to like, let my body naturally do its thing. And I'm just like, bro, you know what? You've been standing up for about a good 8 hours, dog. You've been having to pay attention. It's hot as hell outside. You're standing on concrete.
Yeah.
How about I just give you some help with a little bit of ibuprofen? And then my brain wants to go, but if you just go to sleep and let it do its thing, it'll be all right. Yeah. And it's not. And so like I had to, the last 2 days, like when I don't take it every single day, it actually works so fucking fast. Yeah. It's crazy how fast ibuprofen
it
works.
Yeah, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was saying it doesn't help that like I've been to the hospital enough times to know how much grams are in the hospital doses.
800 milligrams.
Yeah, how much these 200? I'm take 4 of them pills.
How many milligrams? Let me go ahead and take this back.
That ibuprofen work, boy. My family, we stand 10 toes down on that. So like,
oh yeah,
for real, boy. My mama say pop some ibuprofen so fast, and then like I don't care if you feel like you got a headache. Well, if you got a headache, my mom take some ibuprofen.
Take some ibuprofen.
Yeah,
take some ibuprofen.
Take some ibuprofen.
Yeah.
So much of like I've learned so much of our like issues come from like inflammation. So
Yeah.
So having to sit down this week, that was my physical thing, and like it was weird because like I was even able to go to the gym the following day. Like I was like, damn, like I'm feeling like a new man. And so like and man, like what a ibuprofen though. I know this is I know we make different nut milks and stuff, and we say be holistic, have a great time, but the people who made medicine knew what they were doing too. So
yeah, they did.
Right.
They knew.
Came from something natural. They ain't just pull it out the air and then just That was some kind of fantasy thing. They looked at the grass and said, you know what, that helps. So,
yep, it does. That Tylenol too. So
this how I knew Dreamville. This how I knew I was getting older, and then also like ibuprofen was just going to be my friend for the rest of my life. Okay, so we were going into Dreamville, and we were in line, and all of a sudden you see me, his two sisters, my sister, and I think you did as well, or was we with somebody else? But we were all passing around this bottle of ibuprofen. Oh. Okay, everybody is like let me get 3, let me get 4, let me get 2. And we like, look, because I know my body is gonna ache by the end of the day.
You need it, but you gotta tell like you said, you gotta get it before
anything starts.
Before the soreness comes.
Yeah.
Before the soreness comes.
Right. So you gotta, you know what I mean? You try to eat something before you take it. You know what I mean? So you take it, and then so by the time the soreness comes, it's not as bad as it would have been.
What an interesting age thing. You had a pregame on ibuprofen.
Right.
We had the pregame on
ibuprofen. Age. You hear me? That is age talking.
We used to be passing around the bottle, like tap the bottom. Now at this point, we like screw the top. Yeah, like everybody get your hand out. How many you want?
Out of there. Like,
right. That is age talking.
Is that a new bottle? You better make sure you got enough pills. It's 10 of them.
Right. And every person that had it, I was like, y'all, I had my little travel size. Like, y'all need some Advil, ibuprofen? Y'all need something? It's like, no, girl, we got our own bottle. I was like, okay, I'm going to take mine now that we done eat breakfast.
Right. You got to have something on your stomach before you eat it. You got to have something on your stomach.
Now, J. Cole, I can pay attention without moving around a little bit and just be like, geez, can we go home now?
Right.
Yeah, I know how I felt last year with my ankles. Oh, I needed a new pair of ankles. By the end of that night, oh my gosh, I don't know how we made it back to like the little shuttle thing. I don't even know how we made it back. Like my ankles were done.
Bro, I find any moment to sit down nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Any moment. I'm like, I be making noises.
Every time you sit down. I said, somebody was like, how do you know when you're getting older? I said, try playing with a kid, but the game is on the floor.
Oh.
You'll notice your age when you sit down. Try to make a sound. Try to sit down without making a sound.
It ain't happening.
Oh God!
When you hit that,
man, that joint. Like I was at work one day and I made a noise and the girl was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, just having a good." And she was like, "You over 30, ain't you?" And I said, "Oh, shit,
yeah,
I am."
You only say you ask that question when you're in it.
Yeah,
you know about it.
It so sounds when you and then when you get out of bed, your knees pop.
Yeah. I learned that that's a good thing though. Like,
really?
My grandma, and everybody else just says that's how you get the arthritis. But actually, what's happening is
not the arthritis.
Right.
But like what's happening when that happens is like the gases are releasing from inside your body, and it's kind of like there was a blockage that was happening, and so when you kind of pop things, like it kind of releases that so that your body can yeah. So
boy, you learn something every day, boy.
I pop my back every single day, and after that I'm like, all right, I can go run. I can run a marathon, but I can go do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, every single day, like I'll pop my neck, I'm always popping my toes. Them things just feel like they always ring.
Yeah.
But,
I've never popped my neck. I think I'm scared.
I learned that at the chiropractor, because I was like, my grandma said I was gonna get arthritis, and he was like, yeah, that's the most wrong thing ever. Actually, so that's actually how you do get arthritis is by not doing that. And so,
oh wow, okay.
So yeah, that kind of releases that. So don't be afraid to pop.
Hey, my knees pop, my back pop. You know, what I mean, that's part of like the wake up routine.
Yeah,
get out the bed, pop, hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually a good thing. It means your body is just like, all right, I can get you together here, man. Did you feel better after you get through popping it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
See, that's a good thing.
Like I spin my ankles.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, spin my ankles.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I know what you mean. Like,
rotate them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's freaking crazy. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and get into what we've been doing to stay whole and yada yada and blah blah blah. Physically and mentally and not physically. Wait, mentally. That's what
Yep.
Yeah. What about y'all? Things have changed. Hey, I don't know.
You want to go?
No, you go first.
I would say for me, just making sure our mental is strong. We're strong mentally and spiritually through our journey being content creators. So just making sure got each other's back mentally as far as our journey ahead, what we're doing, and making sure we don't get off track as far as, maybe second guessing anything, or we're just staying focused on the road ahead, the goal ahead, and, trying to stay focused and not get distracted pretty much. And, continuing to, believe God is with us and he's guiding our footsteps the whole way. So just constantly, making sure we're staying in that lane of thinking, you know what I mean?
That was good. That was good, babe.
What's been what would you say is like been some things that like, feel like could be like some distractions that might be kind of like getting you there?
So most of the time, well, not really most of the time, but it can be times when your own thoughts can distract. Not, I'll say distract you, because like you may think of like, Dad, what if, this ain't the right thing, you know what I mean? Like you might just start second guessing out of nowhere.
Oh, the second guessing part.
Yeah,
that's a fun thing to do, right?
Right.
It's a great thing to do.
So at times, I'm human. I have those thoughts sometimes, but it's one of those things you got to kind of just, once you realize it's happening, you got to get out of it, because you can, once you start, you can go.
Bro,
you feel what I'm saying?
There's so many reasons not to do something.
Right.
So many freaking reasons.
So I try to, if I catch myself, I try to, I try to catch myself as soon as, if I start thinking like that, just snapping out of it like, hey, stop. Don't, don't go. Stay where you at. Don't go over there. You know what I mean? So, and then same thing with her. If I see her or if I hear her thinking like that, like, stop. You know what I mean? Don't go any further. You know what I mean? So we try to make sure we have each other's back in those times. One of those times.
That was good, babe.
You know what I mean?
For me, mentally, I have been connecting with God a lot more. In the morning, saying my prayers. Well, thanking God, first of all, for waking me up for another day. Speaking over my husband as he leaves for the day, and then connecting with God as far as like my daily word, and then going through reading my Bible, trying to interpret what God is trying to tell me. That is the hardest thing. And then also trusting God a lot more. Cause it was very hard for me to trust God, because I couldn't see the path. I didn't know what his next move was going to be for me. But then I just got tired of trying to put the pieces together. And I was like, at this point, I don't know what I'm doing. We're just going to go with it, God. I was like, you know better. You know a lot more than what I know. Well, everything you know more than what I know. So, trusting God, and then also trusting my husband to know that he's going to take care of me. He's going to watch over me as well and protect me.
I got you, girl.
You better say it.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
I got you, girl.
And also like speaking to myself, like positive words that I say to myself. Like if I have a negative thought, I might sound crazy, but I'll have a negative thought and I speak something positive. I'm like, girl, you know that ain't even true. That's not even true. Like if I say it, then I'm like, okay, that's just the devil trying to take over my mind, or it's just a negative thought that's trying to arise.
I be talking to myself. I be laughing out loud in front of Target sometimes. I know I look crazy, but damn it, I needed that moment.
Yes. It's okay to talk to yourself.
Oh no, I do it too. We all do it.
Yes.
We all talk to ourselves.
It's freaking crazy. Yeah, man. That's why
we all do it.
You know what's crazy? Like, so I had to yesterday. I had to work, and I've talked about this girl before on the podcast. But y'all don't know. So there's this girl that used to play field hockey at UNC. No one really knows what field hockey is, but it's
kind of,
yeah. Well, field hockey is like this sport. They play on the turf, and they have like some sticks that kind of look like candy canes, but. And it's actually, I mean, I was wondering how they don't hurt their back, so they got to bend over a lot and kind of like hit it. So it's kind of crazy. So I've never known what the sport was, and so, but whatever. So I'm filming, so I'm filming. And probably like it was 2018, I want to say. Like this girl comes to UNC. I didn't realize how legendary of a school UNC was as far as their field hockey program. They won like. I think the coach had won like 6 national championships.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And so,
I didn't know that.
So you go in there, you see all these pictures. I'm like, oh, this is like a sport. Like people do this. Yeah. And so,
I did. Hey, you just taught me something. I didn't know that.
bruh, it's crazy. So in comes this girl who's like the most hyped field hockey player ever. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Her first game, like, so I'm filming her first game when she first came. And I was like, I don't know what good field hockey is, but she seemed pretty fucking dominant. Like, I mean, I was like, she dribbling the ball like Kyrie Irving out there. Like, I was like, how the hell you got that little stick? And I was like, what? And then she would just shoot it. And I'd be like, bruh, I do not know what's happening.
Straight beast.
Wow.
Straight beast. So fast forward 5 years later, 2023, this girl has won 4 national championships.
Dang.
She was a 5-time player of the year, ACC player of the year.
Come on, sis.
She was 5-time, I forget, like best field hockey award winner. I was telling someone, when you think UNC, a lot of people know Mia Hamm. She went to UNC to play soccer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, as far as like most decorated and like legendary like UNC players, like it might be Mia Hamm and this girl Erin Matson who plays. I'm just like, bruh. The only time she didn't go to a national championship is was the year her finger came off. Her finger came off one year.
Dang.
Bruh.
Gone.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing?
It was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, and
violent.
I saw it. Like my camera was so my camera had to zoom in. It was what's called a reverse camera, so like it's a really big lens and it zooms in really close. So I'm supposed to get it close action, and like I'll never forget, like they were trying to like throw the ball across the field, and she was about to go get it, and she puts her hand up and then you just kind of just see her like, and she just kind of like runs off. And someone was like, she okay? And I was like, I don't know, y'all. I just know she didn't have a red glove. And so that's all I remember. And then like afterwards, I was listening to her talk, sweetest girl in the world. Listening to her talk, one of her fans was just like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, my finger just came off. They're going to go put it back on.
So you're not going to say that like it's a cut.
Like, like
you're not going to say that like it's
it
a
got
cut.
jammed or something. Like,
Bruh.
like
You're not
your
gonna-
finger came off.
You're not going to act like you can just put a Band-Aid on that and we're going to keep it riding.
She was playing 3 weeks later. So
Did she pick it up off the field and just like
Someone
put it
had to
back?
go pick it up off the
Somebody just
field.
twisted it back on. That's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yo. I know it don't matter, but do you know which finger it was?
I don't know. I want to say index. I'm just gonna just like throw that out.
Oh, she got a short index finger.
Yeah, but I mean, like the girl, like
Yo.
she's just tough. So anyway, so the girl graduated. She's 23. And the field hockey coach, legendary, decides she's gonna retire, and they decide to now make this girl the head coach. So at 23, she's now the head coach of the UNC field hockey team.
That's what's up.
And I'm like, holy shit! Like,
That's what's up.
incredible. Like, she could have played on the United States.
Yeah.
Actually, she been on the United States national team, I think, since she was like 17. But
Oh yeah, she a problem.
yeah. And so I'm over there looking at this shit last night, and I was just like, this girl is 23. She's playing against coaches that she has been whooping their ass for the last 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
One of the coaches, yesterday they were playing against Michigan. They played Michigan, I want to say in 2020 at UNC for the national championship, where she shot the winning goal to win. And
That's
that
crazy.
is the same coach is still there. So she's now coaching against them and stuff like
Dang.
that. And I'm just like,
Sheesh.
some of the players that she was literally celebrating because they won a national championship last year. And then she got named for the head coach probably like 6 months later. And
That is insane.
That's crazy, yo. You go from a
That is
player that quick to a
insane.
coach, the head coach.
And can you like, so these players that she was celebrating with are now like the ones she has to be coaching. Like,
They were just her teammates.
they were just her teammates. Like, so my mind, I can't even in the slightest think about. So like, and I remember I saw her one day at a lacrosse game, and I was just like, yo, like I gotta just tell you, like, because I've been super like encouraged by this girl, like, and just how she's been doing shit. And so I'm over there yesterday, like, there was a crazy amount of nerves I had for it as I'm thinking about just this entire journey where like now she's the youngest field hockey coach. I think like the youngest women head coaches was Pat Summitt, UNC's old field hockey coach was 23. And then this girl, I think she either she just turned 23 or she's 22. And
That's crazy.
yo, so I'm over there looking last night and I'm thinking, all right, I'm like legitimately nervous for her. She's going up against older coaches, like she's now got to shake their hands, and I'm like, what has to be going on through some of these other coaches' minds of just like, you're just a kid, motherfucker. Like, I'm pretty sure they got to be thinking that shit.
Yeah.
And then even some of her teammates that are sitting over there, just like, we were just popping bottles last year.
Yeah.
They ended up having a lot of people, and they're still number one in the nation right now. So the whole entire time last night, I'm thinking about Coach Boone from Remember the Titans, and just how nervous he was before his first game and everything. And like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I had no clue what to expect. But one of the things I did kind of see, and it like really just like helped me mentally to kind of see, like, just her transition has to be fucking crazy right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Playing against the team that this coach took them to the national championship, and you had to go play against them now as a coach. And it's just like, what? Like, you gotta be, I was like, I wonder if she's wondering, like, what am I doing? Do I know what I'm doing? Do I know exactly? Like, and I would imagine that they trust her because she was probably like really coaching a lot of those players when she was out there on the field and stuff.
Oh yeah. Player coach.
Yeah. And so like, it was so wild to watch her win her first freaking game yesterday against the Michigan coach. And I'm just like,
that's crazy.
As a head coach, like, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of got out of there and I was just like super encouraged to watch someone. And like, the energy just felt different. Like, you know, she still looked like she was 22, and like when one of the girls scored a goal, like she was just clapping and just smiling. I was just like, almost as if like there's like a relief of, whew, okay, I'm here and I'm doing this right now.
Yeah.
Dog, it was just one of the most beautiful moments to see. Like, and I don't know, I guess I was just really happy to be able to document that shit too. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I saw her first game, I saw her last game, I saw her first game as a head coach. I was like, it was just, and then to like see her like, all right, you taking over the reins now, man. So that was just, I don't know, mentally it was just this thing of just like going to the next level a little bit, and just like, bruh, this is going to be a tough thing. Like, I don't know what those other coaches got to be doing. They probably got to be annoyed. They probably over there thinking like, I bet you that old coach still fucking helping her too. Like, you know, just all these,
trying to think of anything
to discredit anything and stuff like that.
The amount of respect she has to gain from these people.
and to go from like the player, of course, like you said, probably the best player on the team, probably from what you
the best player in the country.
Okay,
for 5 years straight.
Yeah, so
I mean,
you go from that to, and you got like the whole coaching staff. You go from that to the head coach.
You know
what I'm saying? So
of
like,
a legendary program,
right?
By the way,
so you got like the same coaching staff, I'm sure, probably from when she was a player. So now you go from that player to now you run the whole coaching staff.
Listen to you.
They got to listen to you now. The whole coaching staff got to listen to you now.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah,
and they got to go. I was just telling you to stretch.
Right,
like,
right.
Like, that shit has got to be like, I don't know, and just kind of like, and the students there just packed the stadium out last night and just like in support. I imagine that won't be happening all year, but like just to kind of like see that, and just like the amount of people that were supportive, like, you know, that was something to kind of like witness last night. And just mentally, man, like I said, like that really just put a smile on my face, just to kind of be like, all right, like, just take on the challenge, man. Like, it's going to be a tough, like, a tough transition, I imagine, but like just the way she just handling it, I'm just like, probably just like she handled like a player. Like, you know, she probably came in there, she was a freshman, and then there's seniors there, like, she ain't that good, and then just like, it's like LeBron coming onto the Cavs, man, he just, you know, he ain't like the rest of us, and then he's scoring 28 points a game. He's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. All right, well,
okay,
my bad.
All right.
So I don't know. I had told her before. I said, yo, like, I've been really encouraged by, like, and she sweetest thing in the world. And so, yeah, man, that was just mentally just something that just completely, I don't know, kind of helped me to keep going a little bit yesterday, because I was like, I was proud. I don't know the person to save my life, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just proud of, how can you be proud of somebody that you've never talked to in your life? Like, it's almost that same feeling I felt with like J. Cole, and like he finally broke through, and I'm like, golly, bro, like I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. Anybody from North Carolina felt that,
bruh. Everybody just felt it, man. Like,
everybody from
Turn
North
December
Carolina
came
felt
out,
that.
I was like, J. Cole, bro, like, whoa, you almost there, man.
Yeah.
Like there is something within them that makes me keep going. Like it can just keep on working. Like
it can happen.
It can.
Yeah.
It
Sometimes
can and it will.
It's the people that you don't know that root for you the most. Like then the people that you may think that need to be in your circle that really don't, and they're like wishing or praying on your downfall, like thinking negative or saying things that are negative, because you can't share your dream with everybody. You can't share your vision with everybody. But we have people like on Instagram to be rooting for us. We don't know them people.
Yeah, we don't, but definitely appreciate it.
You know what I mean? They be like crazy supportive.
Yeah, so like she said, like don't tell your dreams to everybody. I mean, you can, but it's also one of them things you got to be grounded, strong-minded, strong believer in God too, because you don't know what that person you just told your dream to is going to react. You don't know how they're going to react. Yeah. They could laugh in your face. They could be like, man.
Or laugh
but you got to be 10 toes down believing what you're saying, so no matter what they say, all right, I'm going to show you. You know what I mean? So
I've been writing this novel series for a while. It's science fiction. I've been working on it for a really long time. I've been working on the second book, and one of the things that like I had written, because I tried, like, this is my whole spiritual and emotional and just healing journey I've been going through. Like I've just been really almost seeing what almost keeps me from like going for something bigger and better. And so one of the things I had written in this book was the main character, whose name is Sukarno. He without going through all the details and stuff like that, essentially what it kind of comes down to is like he's getting these messages kind of like to him that like, and like this feeling of like following his heart right now. And like, he's like, I see all these things kind of happening in front of me. And then he'll go and talk to somebody and like, they'll say, oh, that's not what you think, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was writing in this book, like how these words are almost the words are poisoning his mind and everything. And like, and instead look at people's actions. So like whenever I hear someone speaking to me nowadays, I'll sit back and stop and go, let me look at your life from outside of what the hell you're telling me.
What have you accomplished?
And like I'm gonna look and go like, because they'll say, even if you ask what have you accomplished, they'll say, well, I've done this. I'll stop and go, I'm gonna even stop listening to what you say and just look at your actions, look at what you have and stuff like that. And then I kind of go, do I want that?
Yeah.
And that has been like really, really, really helpful, because I kind of wrote that a little bit in the book too. Like, I don't think I know everything, but like, I know if folks were to come over here, like they would see all the computer equipment, all the editing stuff, they'd be like, all right, well, Ryan clearly will invest into some of this stuff to like, maybe I should listen to him on that, some of that. I see the same thing with some people sometimes. And I was talking with Fred about this, and just like, bro, like y'all two are so consistent, even though you try to say we be putting it up there late, like bro, like you putting it up there, that's what matters. And I'm just like, there's no the results just speak for themselves. Like you don't have to tell me nothing, I just see it.
Yeah.
And so like whenever people like speak these things or say these things, I'm just like, I words mean a great deal to me, but they can't be the only thing that I listen to anymore.
Yeah.
Which is like a wild thing to kind of like realize nowadays, and like kind of see this girl see these different things, and like people speaking to me, people speaking, I don't think they even speak in downfall. I think people speak fear.
Oh yeah.
More than they speak.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with
and
that.
I would say they speak fear based off of what they think they can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I couldn't do it, then what makes you think you can?
Yeah.
Well, ain't you? Like it's
Yeah.
That's something I've seen. I've heard Jay-Z say something similar to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was saying, I forgot what interview it was, but he was just saying somebody was like, he said
that David Letterman joint.
It may have been that.
Yeah.
That may have been what it was, but he was saying pretty much kind of what you just said. Like, just because he was like, if you could, just because you couldn't do it, don't mean I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like you just said, Jay-Z said something similar to that, which is facts. You know what I mean?
Which is super facts.
Facts.
So. All right, y'all. Well, now we're going to go ahead and get into our topic, which we had one last time, and I don't know. My brain was just like, oh, I hope they like, who in the world he was going to try to like remember my brain was like, I'm trying to remember everything I said last time, but it's like, you know what? This was a whole completely different than what we had.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, I think this one might be better than the last one. I would say a question or a topic I have throughout this the Wholism brand you all have created. What would you say is like your moment where it's like you realize we on the right path?
Oh, what we talked about after the freaking podcast.
Yeah. That's good. That's
What's
spicy.
your moment? Or one of your moments, I guess.
Or realize we got something.
Yeah.
Put that spice on it.
Yeah.
Drop
the
there.
spice.
Put that spice on it.
I would say I can't always. The first one that came to me, there's a few that pop up right now. Actually, it was Lucy that encouraged me to make it a business. Like at first, I was just making it just to make it, just because I was trying to be healthy. And then like she was having a really hard time, and I went and brought her some just as a friend, like let her know, like, yo, bro, you good? And she was like, what in the world is that, Ryan? This is your business. And I was like, all right, whatever. And but like that kind of like stuck with me. And I would say like in that moment there, to have someone to have my back, it felt like with something bigger, was a moment where I thought, oh, I don't have to do this by myself anymore. So that was huge, because for the most part, it felt like most of my life I had been having to do a lot of these things by myself. And even though I know I couldn't, I had no other choice, it felt like, but to do it. And so, especially doing things by myself, I started to feel like it just gets overwhelming after a while. So to have, so like that moment of having someone to see this, taste this, we had known each other for like a few years, but but to have someone like taste that and then immediately believe something bigger, I'm like, wow, like there was a different level of like energy and invigorated, like to like, oh, I can do something else here.
That's what's up.
But one of the ones I will say, golly, there's so like, I'm gonna break down what
the fact that you can't think of a good one. That's a good thing. That means it's been a lot. You know what I'm saying?
There's been a lot of things that have just kind of like happened. You know what? I'm a like, and for those who've listened to the podcast, like you've heard us like in the moment when these shits have happened. One thing that like I realized, like, I wouldn't say I knew we had something. It was, I'll say, when I realized that God's got my back, no matter how scared I am. We were trying to find, this one that just comes out to just a crazy story. We were trying to find bottles and stuff like that. And like, and because like, it's a real holistic, health conscious company. Like we want everything to be around us. We want our bottles to be biodegradable, to make sure that like, there's no need in giving you healthy milk and you throwing plastic away in the ocean. All right, well,
defeats the whole purpose.
Defeats the whole damn purpose.
Yeah.
So we were over there trying to like look some stuff up and just could not find anything. And so Lucy, like one day, like, me and her were having like one of our weekly meetings, and she was just like, she's like, I found like this cool place called like the Paper Water Bottle Company. And I was like, all right, whatever. This is where it became very helpful to have someone who was just as passionate as I was. And she was just like, yeah, like she like looked pretty cool. She's like, and I tried to email them and everything, and they had this like, she's like, the water bottles are like really cool and everything, and like they're biodegradable. And I was like, oh shoot, that's crazy. So I'm like looking this place up online. And I stopped and I was like, hey Lucy, like when you look this up, did you know this place is in Raleigh? And she was like, what? And I was like, these water bottles that you just randomly happen to come across, did you know that the company, like the warehouse, is located here in Raleigh? And she was like, get the fuck out. And so like all of a sudden, like we realized like, oh, the place that we started off with, like our water bottle, it was 5 minutes from her house. And
that's
so
crazy.
That's insane.
That's what's up.
And so like, so we hit them up, and like next thing I know, like the person who's like the president or the CEO of the company was like talking to us, and he was just like, yeah,
That's crazy.
And so
My whole face is expressing this.
Wow.
and so he was just like, so me and him, so we were all like having just like a good conversation. We were telling him like, you know, what all we were trying to do. He was just like, you know what's crazy? He said, we have actually never had a customer like from Raleigh, actually. Like he was like, most of our bottles actually go to like, you know, South Africa or something like that. He was like, he was like, so he's like, we're really excited and everything. And so it was just the dopest thing. And then like they had and he was saying like, when he was looking at us, he was like, this brand that you guys are building is so, it was really easy to understand what it was without us having to explain it. That was like, because I had been second guessing. I am a classic over explainer, because I just think that no one understands what the fuck I'm talking about. That's been most of my life. It's felt like, is that like, I got to explain why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, where it's going to come, where it's coming from. And just for someone to just look at this and be like, oh, I see what y'all doing. That's crazy.
They got
and
it.
The president of the company is like talking to us, giving us some good like little nuggets and stuff like that. And then like, it was just the wildest thing for him to then like, they were like, how about we like give y'all some samples and stuff like that. So like, dude, one of the warehouse people literally brings it over to her house like mid meeting. Like we didn't schedule this. It just happened to be on the day that like, it was just freaking crazy. And the same people who made those bottles also like gave us, we like, we're talking to their graphic designer who does like their labels for their bottles. And so we were showing her like, you know, what our logos, what our labels, what we're kind of thinking and stuff like that. So she looked at our logo and stuff, and she was just like, she's like, I'm not sure if y'all are open to this. She was like, but you guys' brand is so unique and cool. She was like, I have an idea for like a little bit of like a switch to the logo. She was like, because your name says it all. She was like, and then the milks and then the bottles. She was like, it's beautiful. She was like, I'm gonna like make a little bit of a change. Like the old one, Wholism, used to have like this little like sunshine or moon thing, but instead the lady was just like, let me like kind of switch this up. And like then it showed us her idea, and that's when like the meditating lady kind of came in as the O, and I was like, holy shit, that's us. And like, boom, and I was like, yo, spice, we're putting the spice on it. And
She put the spice on it.
I would say like that moment is when I was like, oh, like maybe I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it wasn't family. Like it's like you said earlier, like people outside of like my immediate circle could see what I was doing, and like people who were in a business or doing things on a level that I want to do were seeing it and going like, oh nah, this is like legit. And then when I knew the milks were something was when a football player at NC State by the name of Thayer Thomas, me and him were talking, and actually he was a friend of mine. My friend is a massage therapist, and he would go to her and stuff like that. And she was like, you got to try this stuff out. So like he really struggled with some sleep. And so then he ends up just trying to try some and everything. He's like, it was actually like kind of, he's like, you know what to expect, you know, pistachio milk, like what the freak is going on? I was telling him, I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, who wants to sit here and be healthy and the shit tastes terrible? Like what are we doing?
Exactly.
And so when I realized this might be something too, was when he, he drinks it. He wanted the night before the Clemson game, which was a huge game. And so he drinks it, and he scores like the winning touchdown in overtime to win the game and stuff like that, man. And like I remember we were talking at some point in time where he was talking to Tammy, my massage therapist, and he was just like, I just felt rested. And like, I was just, cause I did a lot of those, I made a lot of those milks thinking this just makes sense. Like when I learned that pistachios are high in melatonin, I thought, what else? Like, and I figured out how to like make like actually different nut milks and stuff like that. I was like, what other herbs can go with it? Like to basically kind of strengthen those properties out. Cause I've always lived I've tried to live more as a both and person, like instead of like an either or. And so then to see that, cause at first it was just I don't know, just a theory. I was like, I don't know if I'm like really like, I ain't got no degree in chemistry or biology. Like, because people would ask me that. They're like, what's your degree in? Liberal studies. Oh, so like it's not like you don't have a degree in biology or chemistry.
Yeah.
No, not whatsoever. But I meet biologists and chemists that are like, yeah, actually that makes sense. Yeah. And so because the whole time I was just insecure of just like, maybe this is just me doing this to my mind, trying to make this make sense for other people.
Yeah.
And then to like, once again, see it and hear it. And that's when I was just like, bro, like, no matter how hard things get, which they have gotten, just got to keep finding a way to move forward. And I think that's where it really helped to have someone who was just as passionate and then showing up to the, and it's what gave me the courage to like show up to like different like events where there's gonna be like a lot of people and stuff. That's the one thing I've been trying to avoid, which is how can I like do this without having to go to like a festival or any of that other bullshit? Because like I know that some people are just dickheads for no reason, man. Yeah. And so I showed up anyway. But like I believe so much in it. I believe so much in my partner. I believe so much in this product. I believe so much in the things that I've seen like God kind of like show that like I could just speak straight up from the heart with that shit. And so those are like the ones that like stand out the most so far though. Because
that's what's up, man.
And it's hard. It's easy to forget about those moments when shit gets tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy.
And just coming from your boy, I want to say I'm proud of you. And I've never met Lucy, but Lucy, when you see this, nice to meet you. And I'm proud of y'all too. I'm proud of you too. So y'all whole brand, man. You know what I mean? You got our support. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Y'all keep going, bro.
Appreciate that.
Keep going, bro.
What about y'all though? Like, y'all shit like just blew up. Like, I'm curious too.
You want to go?
No, you can go. Cause I still be thinking I'm still on Ryan's story. I'm like, dang.
I mean, but it's dope, man. Like having these conversations, man, with you like that, it gives all of us that reassurance. You know what I mean? That like that boost. You know what I mean? So having these conversations, that's why I asked that question, because I wanted us all to have that boost that we may need. You know what I mean?
Because it's easy to forget. For me, man, it's when I get so caught up in my own head and what I'm trying to do next that I forget the moments that led me there.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's what I need to hold on to more than what to do next, because I think that allows me to kind of like let go and be like, all right, God, like none of that shit made sense before.
Yeah.
And I was scared the whole entire time before, but I'm gonna keep showing up too as well. And then to like have the like just small little moments like that. It's the same thing that like I knew like video stuff I was good at and everything. Like I remember I was talking with my friend. He's one of my close friends, and my friend Mike, he's a trainer. He's a great dude. And so we were talking one day, and I'll never forget it. I was in the middle. We went to go meet. He had just, me and him were both grinding it out. He was the trainer at the gym, which now I was going to like different football tryouts, professional tryouts, league tryouts, stuff like that. And then I was like, I can't keep doing this. So like, but I ended up stumbling upon this job that I have now. And he was trying to become like a football coach at NC State, and he finally got the freaking job. And I was so proud of him. I was a little sad because I was gonna I was gonna be able to be around him as much, but just the support just had to look different as opposed to like going into the gym. It was like, all right, well now it's it's a little bit more effort just because, but if you want to keep the relationship, you gotta make sure you put in the effort even when things change.
Definitely.
And so I'll never forget, like we were talking. We met up, like NC State was playing UNC, and I was filming that football game, and he happened to be there. He was like, Ryan, like, where you at? So he wanted to meet up before the game. Me and him were talking, and he was like, Ryan, like, let's stop, like, let's look around. And I was like, he was like, can you believe where we are right now? He was like, right now we are meeting in the end zone of Keenan Stadium at a UNC NC State football game.
Yeah,
I'm the coach at NC State. You're videoing and filming for UNC, like two things that we know we both passionate about, and we are meeting in the end zone. He was like, you know, this is like something that like it's just like a moment we need to remember that like we're on the right.
Yeah.
And I think it's so, but like that's why it takes like friends to like remind you, like, bro, look how you got here.
Yeah. Because it's so easy to forget.
Yeah.
Right. To go back to your question as far as us, I would say the first one, probably when we were on that TV show. The video was on the TV show. I forgot the name of the show.
Oh, the one that came out early in the morning.
Right this minute.
Yeah, that's it.
Right this minute. And it was video we did when we were walking, and it was like she wanted to go work out with me, but she was complaining the whole time. And then
it's a real video.
So the company, the TV show, they reached out to us in a DM and was like, can we put this video on our show? And I'm like, really? And they were based in like Phoenix.
Wow.
Phoenix, Arizona. And then I sent it to Zannetta, and she was like, really? I was like, yeah, they want to.
I was like, is this real? Like, y'all playing.
Yeah, like you never know, bro. So we kind of did our research. We was like, all right, bet. So then it came on like the next day. Wow. It was like around 2:30, I think, in the afternoon, and we watched the show, and it was crazy. Our video was the last one they showed.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was crazy watching it on TV. Like, dang, man, that's crazy. Our video, they wanted to be on their TV show. And then that video got like 1 million views.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like, it was crazy, man.
Insane.
That was probably the first one, the first moment. What would you say?
My first moment is probably recent. Because there's times where I won't really pay attention to our social media like that.
Yeah.
But I'll go on the page every now and again. I'm like, when did we get 60,000 people following us? I remember when we were just at like maybe 10 followers on Instagram. And I was like, and at one point in time, Fred was asking me, he was like, well, I want to get to this number at this time. And I was like, babe, I really think you're going to go past that number. And it was probably like within the end of the year. It's probably like 3 months until the end of the year. And I promise you, we went over that number. I was like, where did people come from?
I know exactly what moment you're talking about. It was around September last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was either last year or that year before, maybe. I can't remember. But I know it was like in the fall, around the end of summer, going into fall. And at that moment, bro, we had 3 videos going viral at the same time.
That's crazy, dog. That's freaking.
And I caught on to it, and I realized what videos kept coming up, and it was those 3 every time. People were sharing it, and it was people were commenting, liking it, sharing it. I'm like, and I said, these 3 videos right now are going viral right now. And
somebody
I said, I'm seeing
tagging
it everywhere.
us on Twitter. We don't even have Twitter.
We don't even on Twitter, and it was on Twitter.
Somebody hit me up from Rockingham. They're like, girl, you going viral? I was like, viral? I was like, what the word that got me?
Yeah, it was those 3 videos at that moment where the numbers started. It went crazy. It went crazy from those 3 videos.
It's just one day it just boom.
It was like a week. It was like that's like a weekend. It was a weekend where you could tell it spiked, and then throughout that week, and I'm telling you, that joint went on for a while.
Wow.
It went on for a while.
I remember us praying about that, asking God to increase our what was
Instagram.
Increase the followers on Instagram and the people that see us, and let them see our talent, let them see our gifts. And it was just insane. Like when God showed up, he showed out. I was like, God, where did people come from? He was like, well, you asked. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Because it was tough to kind of figure out how to crack that Instagram code, that code. Like, you know what I mean? It was tough. Like TikTok was already booming, and then it was like Instagram was like, man, we gotta get this. We gotta figure out how to crack the code on Instagram. And then when those 3 videos happened, it was like, I think we just cracked it.
It was crazy. When I got back to work, I remember going back to work, and I didn't tell anybody that we had a TikTok page, co-workers and stuff, trying to keep it professional and whatnot. So, I told a couple.
Like trying to sell plates at the
yeah. So I walked in late per usual. And I walk in, and my coworker Peter is like, you didn't tell me you had a TikTok. And I was like, yeah, we on TikTok. He's like, how do you have this many people following you? I was like, and I don't have TikTok. Like, he controls TikTok.
Yeah.
So I was like, how many followers we got? He was like, 300K. I was like, is that many people?
That's crazy.
He was like, you're a celebrity and you didn't even tell me. I was like, well, I mean,
I'm still coming into work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm still doing a 9 to 5.
We was actually live on this past Thursday and on TikTok and Instagram, and somebody on Instagram, I think it was, they were from Kenya watching the live.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
They were up
they
like
were
3
in
o'clock in the
Kenya,
morning,
bro.
That's crazy.
And then somebody said, I'm watching from Canada.
That was
really
insane.
That's crazy.
Watching from Canada, like what? And then one time, it wasn't this past Thursday. It was a while ago when we were live. Somebody was watching from Australia.
That's crazy.
So seeing that, we was like, I said, when I said, hold on, what time is it there?
Because we usually ask people in the beginning, like, where y'all from, how y'all week been, like, let's just chat for a little bit to open up, and they'll tell us where they're from, and most of them are in the U.S. But when we sing Kenya, he was like, yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Kenya. I'm about to go to bed, but I have in Georgia. I said, Kenya?
That's
Are you in Kenya for real?
That was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, when you see stuff like that, it was like, wow.
We had like a great conversation, like, because we were talking afterwards, like, about like next steps. Now that we've kind of like seen those things, like, what would you say like is like the thing that's like keeping you going, even as like still trying to figure out what these next steps are, like? Because I know we were talking about like to have these moments and then realize like, oh, this is something. So now like my mindset had to change and be a whole lot more serious. And it became kind of weird where it's like both creative and business. I got to be both kind of protective and open. Like how like it's just a crazy balance. I now like out of like, you know, because God is just like, nah, you got something, so you don't take it serious. Well, nah, like, well, what you want me to take it serious? That's a lot more shit to do now, but
a whole lot.
Yeah, and so like as like the next level is kind of like creeping up, like because I know like it's got to like for me it's the same exact feeling as when I first started. Only I'm nowhere near as innocent now. Like I'm like I actually want this, like for real. Like I can see it. I want it. Like it's something like my pastor had said this, and I had interviewed him one day. And like he was just like, you know, he said, I forget, he said, some pastor had said this, I can't remember who it was. He said, you know, you can see a mountain from really far, but you don't really know like the details of how to get there. Yeah. Until you start walking. And he was just like,
I like that.
And so
I like that.
And so he was like, when I had the vision of like this church, he was like, I had it at 24. He was like, but what it was going to look like, where it was going to be at, how I had no clue until I just started walking towards it. He was like, and it just was crazy. So like, I'm like curious, like with y'all, like, especially it's like, damn, like you breaking through, like you broke through, like as you like getting ready for like the next moment, like how are you like, cause now for me specifically too, like, there's knowledge I have now. There's things that I've been shown, and I have to still live with that same almost naive. Naive is the only word I can think of right now, but there's a better word for it. Like free flowing, kind of naive, like faith that I had before. Only I've got a little bit more knowledge. Like how in the world are y'all like kind of rolling that balance while also trying to like take it to the next level a little bit?
For me, it's having blind faith. It's just, it's just trying. I am a very much control freak. I am putting it in God's hands. I am trusting God, and I'm just keeping like me. It's me and my partner, so it's like we just gonna keep going. Like I know what the next goal we want is, but I don't know what the next thing God has planned for us. But I know it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be big, but I don't know what it is. I know what the vision, a piece of the vision is, but I'm like, at this point, I'm just shutting my eyes and I'm like, God, just if I'm going this way, then just help me on my way. I'm just
any kind of like actions that like you feel like you're taking to like kind of keep your mind off of from being a control thing, because I know I'll do that for myself. Like I'm like, all right, I know that I'm going to obsess over this shit. So like, I'm going to go play tennis so that I will go do something else and be too tired to even think about this, even though I am thinking about it. Like, like, is there anything that like you do to kind of like keep your mind off of it from controlling and letting God kind of handle it? What do you be doing?
I draw, I sketch, I design. That usually keeps my mind off of it. Or either I listen to music. But as far as like if I focus on it too much, I feel like I'm going to control it in a way, and I'm like, I don't really want to control this. Like, let me just take my hands off of it. But that's mainly it though, because I have to control the control freak in me.
Yeah, man.
That's hard.
Freaking really, especially but it's like, but it's mine though.
Yeah.
And God's like, no, it's not. It's mine.
Right.
No, it ain't. Well, I'm doing the work down here.
God, like, I gave it to you. I can take it back. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Wait a minute, bro.
You took it too far.
Yeah, okay. I was just playing. I'll go over there and bring my Fruit Loops real quick, man. I'm sorry. I got in your way.
Go sit down somewhere. Okay.
All right.
I would say for me, I watch reruns of some of my favorite sitcoms. My favorite sitcom is Martin. I watch Martin, just something to make me laugh, just to kind of get my mind off of it. Other than that, that's about it. I mean, hang out with family, friends. That's about it.
We love on each other.
Yeah, definitely. So but like you said, the next step, I know, like she said, you just gotta continue trusting God. I know I have my amazing wife with me, so I'm not by myself. So
that's right, baby, in the trenches.
Right.
I be having to embrace like the discomfort. I think that's where I've really struggled at, is embracing the fact, because I always feel like if I really was confident, then I wouldn't be feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I've just had to learn to kind of be like, bruh, I'm just scared to death, and I got to pray every single day and be like, hey God, just once again checking in, letting you know, I don't know what the hell you doing up there, but I'm scared to death down here, man. And like almost embracing that fear, embracing that discomfort, embracing like I don't really know when or if or how or where or and to embrace the discomfort of a new level, to embrace the discomfort of like. To embrace even I don't even always know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
To like, because we were talking about this of just like having to like do all these different legal things and all this different jargon. I have no clue what it freaking means,
bro.
And it's like, this is what I gotta do in order to make this be bigger and be where I want it to be. And I'm just like, I start feeling stupid. I start feeling like, am I really equipped to even handle this?
I know.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you, dog.
Back.
You preaching.
I don't want to do this no
you preaching to the choir, dog.
I'm good.
Yes, sir. We as far as that, because like you said, I'm sure we all started this with just having fun.
Yeah.
So then when your brain got to switch to business, then you got to think, okay, like you said, legal things you got to think about and take care of. So, but then you also like, dang, what? So how am I supposed to? How does this happen? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Why didn't they teach me this in college instead of this Pythagorean theorem?
So like, you gotta think, you gotta kind of shift your brain in business mode, and for us to educate ourselves and realize what we have to do to make this have a solid foundation for the brand. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what we're still in the process of that now. You know? So
and also being comfortable knowing that you're gonna mess up. Like, you don't know everything. Like, you're going to mess up. You're going to fail at some points. But it's not really failure because you didn't stop doing what you were meant to do. You know what I'm saying, babe? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me speaking to myself as well, because if I mess up, I want to stop and I don't want to do it anymore. But for me to just keep going, and I'm like telling myself, we're going to work through this. I feel like if I'm scared to do it also, then I'm meant to do it. Like, in a way, because
I like that.
If I'm second guessing it, I'm like, and it's not hurting me, it's not hurting anybody else, it's not going against God, and I'm like, I'm probably supposed to be doing this, but my mind is telling me like, girl, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You scared already. Don't do that.
Yeah,
It's stretching you.
Yeah.
Right. And one of those, like you said, when you were talking about being like discomfort, like this, what's that saying? I think I've heard Steve Harvey say it. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of trying to get better with that,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said being comfortable.
Yeah. got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've been uncomfortable for years, and I've made it like a coping mechanism almost.
To be uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, this comes from my therapist. Like, she's just... My therapist told me that when I feel uncomfortable with something, I have developed tactics to cope with it. Whether that's me grabbing my phone, scrolling on social media for hours, or that can be me eating something or craving sugar, goes hand in hand with what you're supposed to be creating. Like, it's like I'm trying to break those coping mechanisms that I have set in stone for myself. Like, so for me, I'll turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, or either I'll be somewhere knowing that I don't feel like getting up to go get my phone.
Yeah.
So I'll put it across the room.
Yep.
And it's just sitting in that discomfort and trying not to find something to cope with. I'm like, because I get so easily distracted as well. I'm like, nope, turn it off, turn this off, turn that off. Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. It's as far as being uncomfortable, like, because at first, like I said before, like when I first meet people, you don't get the real me when you first meet me a lot of times. People who know me see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, to be able to be comfortable when we first started videos, I had to be comfortable with putting this video out and for people to see me and they don't know me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that I had to get to that point where it's like, forget it. It was like one of those things that I knew I had it, but I had to just be comfortable doing it and being okay with people seeing it.
There's a vulnerability in that where it's just like I'm laying down like my armor and like and like that. I heard someone told me this one day, like, in order to risk the greatest love in my life, I have to risk the greatest hurt. And so like
Spice.
That's
spicy. That's spicy right there.
So to like even like let people see you and be that vulnerable, it's like, damn, like, because I had done that and like I felt like I had got hurt by it, and so it made me afraid to like, then made me want to go like, well, what do y'all want to see? And it's like, okay, well, that's not gonna fucking work either, because Jesus Christ. So it took me a while to kind of like come back to like I took that L, and then I came back, and now there's holism now, and so like, but yo, like I like that fear though of just like, yo, they about to see me, I'm about to be vulnerable, you about to like, whoa. Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, like that's wild. Like, so like as y'all are like doing this, like, you would you say like kind of like bring it back to like what you had asked first, like the moments, would you say like those, do you ever remember those moments when as you're going to the new level, or does it like take like other people to kind of like help to remind you? Because for me, sometimes it takes other people to remind you. Like what would y'all say? What about for y'all?
I say
we feed into each other a lot.
That, and I would like, sometimes I'll just scroll back on our pages and just look back and just look and be like, dang, man, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy to see it all
off of
documented, right?
Yeah, like you know what I mean, you go back to, if we scroll and look at our catalog, you know what I mean, it's like,
we got a catalog.
Oh, you so stupid. So like it's little things like that. You can look back at some of those videos where it just kind of like, dang, man, that's crazy. Like this video got this, and you know what I mean, it got received in this way. You know what I mean? So like the ad-lib videos we started doing, man, bro.
I knew you were gonna go into it,
bro.
I knew it.
We had no idea it was gonna be the way it is now, dog. I'm telling you, bro. We started this joint. It was supposed to be one video. It was supposed to be one video. We did Beauty by Drew Hill, and that was gonna be it. Right. It was supposed to be that video, and we was like, all right, we're gonna post it and go on to the whatever the next video is gonna be. We posted that daggone video, bruh. The people was commenting, y'all gotta make it a series. Where
that took off.
We gotta get, where's part 2? Y'all need to make it a series. What's the next song? People were sending us songs to do.
That's crazy.
They
we were like, hold on, what?
Requests.
And then that's when I was like, and after that happened, I told her, I said, I think we gotta do a series now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't go into it thinking it was gonna be we got 23 videos of ad-lib videos now. It was supposed to be one.
They're fun too, by the way.
It was supposed to be one. So little things like that. It's
Charlie
like that.
Wilson one was great.
Oh, appreciate it.
I was like, yeah, man, this is fun, man. I'll be doing that too, bro.
Appreciate it. But yeah, it's little stuff like that where it's like you had those ideas, and when one idea turns into a series, like, you know what I mean? So when you look back and look at some of those moments where it's like it was bigger than what you thought it was going to be, it's like, okay, all right, I think we good. We straight.
Let me ask y'all one thing, like, too. Like, I'm just, before, I know it's going to just take forever if I'm not careful, but like,
no, you good, bro. We enjoying this.
Like,
Right.
It's good.
Like, learning that balance between, because it's something I'm trying to like get together now that fucking sucks, but like, like between what my vision is and what the people like and want. Like, because you just got through saying, like, you did that ad lib thing there, but I got other ideas, but it's like they were just asking you. So now it's like trying to like, damn, like I guess this is something you guys are into it, even though it's not like I was looking at going past, like, the next thing and everything. And it's just the moment of clarity verse from Jay-Z on Black Album just continues to stick inside of my head when he was just like, when he said, the industry, they hate me because the music biz ain't make me. Hustlers and boosters embrace me in the music I be making. And I'm not saying that y'all are doing this, but he said, I dumbed down for my audience to double my dollars. They criticize me for it, yet they all yell holla. If skill, soul, truth be told, I'd probably be lyrically Talib Kweli. And he said, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense. But I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like common sense. And so,
Spice.
And he said, when your sense got that much in common and you've been hustling since, your inception for perception goes with what makes sense. And since I know what I'm up against.
Problem, boy.
But I mean, golly,
that
right?
boy, problem, boy.
And since I know what I'm up against, we as rappers must decide what's most important. And I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. And that's going to be a win-win for everybody. And so, like, I've been thinking about this with holism in some ways of just like, this stuff is nothing without the people. But there's also a vision that I'm going to have to need in order to push it forward that might make the people uncomfortable as well. And I'm afraid to do that at times, but I also am just like, but this is for y'all as well. So like, because like without you, I'm nothing. Like, like without your support, this is nothing. But so like, how do you like ride that balance of like not creative freedom, but like creative motion moving forward and like being able to stop and go, yo, like the people love these ad libs things. We having a great time doing it. Like, let's all have a good freaking time. Like, how do y'all ride that balance?
I would say we enjoy the ad lib videos, which is dope. We understand people enjoy it. We enjoy it too. But like we also do, like on Tuesdays, we'll do a video where it's us, just a skit.
Okay.
And then Thursday is the ad lib video.
See, that's the thing I love about, like, I think like where I'm at, where it's just like before it was, well, you guys have to get over. I'm just like, I think there's a place we can meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I can meet you. I can meet you where you at. Like, it's like Jesus walking down in the hood, I'm sure. And he was just like, look, he want to be there. But it's like, yo, I can meet you where you at. Like, it's fine. It's cool. Like, and because we all kind of in this together. So like, just to even hear, like, that's really encouraging for me too. Like, oh, y'all like this, we'll do this. But also like Tuesdays are just skit fun days too. But we also enjoy that. So let's all be in this together.
Right. And then we don't want to get away from what got us there. The skits got us here.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So like the people who been rocking with us since the beginning, they know us from the skits. They they've been on the ride and see the ad lib videos.
Yeah.
A lot of people jumped on from the ad lib videos.
Yeah.
So like I know we don't want to get away from what got us here, which were the skits. So that's why we stick to the we still do the skits and we do the ad lib videos. And then we'll do like a video. We also, when we do the lives, we do the lives for people to see us for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't really do like, well, I mean, we play music during the lives and we might, sing along with it, you know what I mean, here and there. But like, that's for people to see us as us. Even though we're being ourselves in the skits, just us outside of a skit, us in real time. This is us. You
just
know
talking
what I mean?
on the podcast,
right? You know what I mean? Like now, like now. So we like to mix up, even though the ad-lib videos are the ones that's popping right now. We don't want to forget what got us there.
What got you there?
Yeah.
Too.
So
and we got there being ourselves to begin with, like trying not to ride the wave. But what is it called? The fads, or it's just the trends?
Yeah.
What is that, fads?
I think that is what it used to be called, and then they changed the trends at some point in time.
I'm old. Okay, not trying to ride the trends, because I mean it's so easy to fall into a social media couple, and then they're leaving relationship goals up under your videos and whatnot. Just trying to know that we are creative as well outside of the trends. Like let's start a trend of our own if we can, which we really have.
Yeah, and even when we were beginning this whole journey, we were trying to figure out our identity. What's our identity? What are we when people see us, what are they gonna see? So we were talking about the trends. We was like, nah, because the trends, if everybody's doing it, you're not gonna stand out.
We battled on that first at the beginning though, because I was more so looking at the trends, and you were like, no, I got this other path, and I was like, it took me a minute to get there to see your vision, but once I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah, so like, because it's a lot. Like, we're not the only couples that are content creators. We see a lot of them on social media. It's a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we did the trends, you gotta get washed away. Yeah, you're not gonna stand out. So like, at the end of the day, we came to the conclusion. I was like, all right, of course we're gonna be ourselves. If we are, the best way to be different is to be yourself. Nobody's like you. So we was like, let's just be us. So when you see our skits, you're seeing us.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like the concept, a lot of the concepts we have be real stuff that has happened. It may not have happened. True stories, okay? It may not have happened the way it looked in the skit, but the idea of the skit came from a real place. You feel what I'm saying? So when people see us and they see our skits, they connect with us. Like, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody do that.
Yeah.
My boyfriend or girlfriend has done that. My parents just did this. So when they see it, they see somebody else in our video or themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it forms a connection with us and the people watching.
It's like, yo, we all kind of the same out here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I promise, man. Like,
oh yeah, we're the same.
We're all the same. See, that's the wild, like, and it's something like you even said, like, that I'm really having to embrace nowadays. Is like, I'm one half of my personality, like, this is me and Lucy's personality going to holism, but it's all of holism's DNA is me and her. However, I am not only holism. So it's just like, all right, like, I've got to, as you said, like, what do we want when Howell be dynamic? Like, you know, what do they see? What do they see with this particular brand? But then, like, we've got the skits, and then we've got the ad libs, which is just like us rocking out with the people, and then and then there's the live video, which is just like us just kind of like just chopping it up, just like outside of and it's that same kind of thing I'm having to kind of like learn to kind of bounce, which is different for another level as well, because before it was all of me, and now I'm just like, oh, holism is this. It's it's healthy eating. It's sometimes it's something I'm watching, something I'm looking at. It's these deep topics. But I tell people all the time, if y'all want to have deep topics with me all the time, I'm actually way more silly than I am deep all the freaking, like, please don't come up to me talking about, let me tell you a little something about the spiritual thing, you know? Jesus Christ, dog. Like, I'm just over here eating this Taco Bell, and like like, I ain't Taco Bell, like, yeah, I'm so bad at La Santa, man. It's pretty nice restaurant, like, you know, the game's on, could you stop talking to me, please? And like, or it's the same thing where it's just like, I've had people only want to talk sports with me, and I'm just like, I can speak it, but that's not all of who I am. And so, like, having to know, like, when they see this company, like, this is what this is. So, you know, and I want y'all to be able to see yourselves in that. So that is a different level as far as business for me too nowadays, where it's just like, this is what our brand is. This is what we're going to stick to. And I was just talking to my marketing people about this, like, don't get myself too caught up personally in it to where I end up kind of destroying it by having my own thoughts and opinions, and where I make this thing all of me, and all these thoughts and opinions that aren't holism, the company, which is, that's a hard thing to separate, especially when it came from it's like a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's the way. You got to balance it out somehow. Like
that's a new level too, having to learn the balance.
Yeah, you got to balance
That's
it
a
out.
struggle.
Yeah, it can be.
That's the struggle of it all.
It can be a struggle, but I mean, you got to figure out a way. Once you figure out a solid balance, a decent balance, you know what I mean. It makes it a little easier. That's why when we post, we post 3 times a day.
Yeah,
pretty much. We do a skit, ad-lib video, live.
3 times a week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I was
3 times a week. My fault. 3 times a week. My fault. Good looking out. But we do the skit Tuesday. Right now, ad-lib videos Thursday, and then we go live Thursday after we post it. You know what I mean? So you get 3 different versions of us.
That's
a week.
Wild. That is wild.
So, yep.
Well, all right, y'all. Well, everybody, we appreciate y'all first of all, appreciate y'all for even come back on here for part 2.
Hey.
Because my God.
Thanks for having us, bro.
Zannetta said we don't put out no half-ass shit.
That's what I'm saying. We don't put out no halfway.
That's what when you called me and told me what was going on, I was like, hey man, don't post it just because we did it. No, we're gonna do it over, do it the right way if we're gonna do it. We'll come back over and get it right.
Yeah,
don't put out anything you do not love, you do not
man.
You put your energy into this, at least let it be right. Like,
this is y'all brand, our brand. We putting this together. Let's put it out the right way if we're gonna do it.
Exactly.
I was showing the inconvenience y'all, man. I was like, shit, that's my bad. I done messed up, my bad. So
we are up the street.
Hey, we ain't nowhere from here. Hey, you know, we got years behind us, bro. So hey, you want us to come back and do it? Hey, we got you, bro.
Well, shoot. Well, everybody. So that is Fred, Zannetta. Y'all might also know them as Howell Be Thy Name, but we're gonna go ahead and close this podcast down and with the Serenity Prayer. Higher power, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, appreciate y'all being on here, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having us.
Holla.